It's the Binge Bum Podcast. Whoa, it's time to talk about our favorite shows from all the streaming networks all across the globe, from Netflix to Hulu to Disney Plus and HBO. Get ready for fun and lots of show reviews. It's Binge Bum coming to you.
We are back. We hope you didn't miss us. This is another episode of Binge Bum. We were off last week.
We went to Vegas, baby.
Little trip to Vegas. See what was going on out there. It was hot. It did rain.
It did rain there. They're having monsoon season, and we did not watch any streaming video while we were there.
Not a one.
We were embroiled in Vegas-y stuff.
Yeah. So this week is basically it's a catch-up week. So let's get started with some news, because I think we got some really fun stuff for up next.
Yeah.
Coming soon. First thing is HBO Max news. Michael B. Jordan has announced that he and his production company are developing a new Superman series for HBO Max. Jordan's adaptation will be based on Val-Zod, a black Superman who first appeared in the comics in 2014.
It's kind of disconcerting that a lot of people were like, wait a second on social media, because they're like, Superman can't be black. But there actually is a guy who, in the comic books, was a black Superman. He's not Clark Kent.
No.
He's a different guy from the same planet,
Right.
Who came down. There's Supergirl. There's all kinds of different people that have come from that planet in this Superman world. So he's not playing Clark Kent, but he's playing a Superman type person. Val-Zod is his name from Krypton, I guess.
Right.
Yeah. So more details to come on this. We don't know exactly when this is coming.
I've looked. I don't know anything more than what I've just told you, because I assume it's very, very, very early on.
If you guys don't know Michael B. Jordan, he's kind of everywhere.
He has been, and he's not a stranger to the superhero movies either.
No, for sure. His first big thing was HBO's The Wire. It's funny that he went from HBO's The Wire, and then he was on All My Children, a soap opera, on regular television for several years. Then he did Friday Night Lights. He was in Fantastic Four, of course, the remake of that.
Right.
And then, of course, he played the villain in Black Panther most recently.
I think he might be recently best known for that up until now.
I think so, yeah. He's also set to remake The Thomas Crown Affair, which will be the third time they've remade this movie.
Right.
Yeah. So,
okay. Is that coming to a streamer?
No, I don't know. I don't know where that's coming,
Okay.
but that is in the works. Of course,
Cool.
Former James Bond, Pierce Brosnan, played in the remake of Thomas Crown. I love that movie. It's great.
Yeah.
So we'll see what he does.
I love
with
Michael B. Jordan. He hasn't done anything that I don't like. I think he's great, and I think he's going to serve this well. I'm excited for this.
Yeah, HBO Max has got a lot in the pipeline.
They got a lot going on. But moving on to some Peacock news. Peacock has reportedly closed a $400 million deal. This is the second time that we've heard this number. It was right before we went off the air that their Netflix closed its largest deal, and it was $400 million. So
it's a magic number.
Where is it going to end? But anyway, $400 million to purchase the rights for a new Exorcist franchise. Ellen Bernstein, is that how you say her last name? Bernstein, who played the mother of the possessed child Reagan, played by Linda Blair, in the original 1973 film, will reprise her role in this new trilogy. The films will star Leslie Odom Jr. as the father of a possessed child and seeks the help of
Ellen's character. Yeah. Excited about this. This is coming from NBC Universal, of course, they're behind Peacock. The new films will be a continuation of the 1973 story, but not a remake, which I like.
I'm digging this.
There are too many remakes out there. So I like continuations or prequels seems to be all the rage these days. So that is very fun.
Right.
Yeah. And who knew? You've been complaining of late that Peacock wasn't putting enough money into originals. Well, here they come.
Here they come.
$400 million for 3 Exorcist movies.
I mean, we won't see these until this time next year.
Yeah.
At least the first one.
And speaking of soap operas, one of my favorite things, because, you know,
Is that what we were speaking of?
Well, I mentioned it earlier that Michael B. Jordan used to be in All My Children.
Okay.
But Days of Our Lives is coming to Peacock also. Peacock has confirmed that they have ordered a 5-episode limited series of the daytime soap opera Days of Our Lives, which has been on NBC for years and years. Mm-hmm. This is going to be called Days of Our Lives Beyond Salem. Ooh. Yeah, Salem, of course, is the town where Days of Our Lives takes place. The new limited series will bring together past and present residents of Salem. So I knew about this from the get-go because, you know, I'm a huge...
You follow this, yes.
Well, I'm a huge Housewives fan. I'm actually wearing a Housewives t-shirt as we sit here recording this show. But Lisa Rinna, who is, of course, an actress, and she's also on the reality show The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, she announced that she'll be returning as Billie Reed. She starred in Days of Our Lives off and on for many decades. Deidre Hall will also be involved in this. She plays Milena. We all know that she was once possessed by the devil. It's kind of a crazy show. They do things that
They're all crazy.
Well, but this one they do a little supernatural stuff on Days. I mean, it's not rooted in reality like some of the other ones are. Anyway, there's a bunch of old and new people coming back, and apparently this time they're going to be hunting for stolen gems around the globe, which sounds very not Days of Our Lives.
Seems weird to me.
And 5 episodes is nothing in the soap world.
And so I wrote this down, not knowing anything about it, but knowing that you would. Reading as an outsider, it seems like they're trying to finish telling a story. Is that not the case here?
That might be. I don't know because I've never been a Days watcher, so I don't know the storylines.
Oh, I thought you were.
No, I know enough about it. I know who plays on it. I know the characters they play. I know the plots. I've probably watched 1 or 2 episodes, but no, I'm not a Days fan.
But that's what it sounds like to me.
But I know my soap operas.
Right, but it sounds like they're trying to complete a story here.
Either that or they're just seeing if it catches on and then they'll make more.
Hey, soaps are very popular. They still are. Isn't there one or two that are still on?
We have 4 left in daytime. Right. And then, of course, there's our nighttime soaps.
Yeah, could you imagine taking the soap? All right, and I'm not a fan of soaps, but imagine taking that format, right? It's almost like the Hallmark of the Lifetime, but you have soap, like that whole thing. Bring it to evening, which the networks will not do, right? And then make it more saucier and put it on your streamers, and that way you have almost like a daily show, and that could get people into your streamer every single day instead of like the weekend or
I do like that idea.
A 1-time or 2-time a week for a big night.
No.
I think that would be great.
That's a great idea, and the streamers should get behind that,
right?
Because I think people would tune in on a daily basis, like they do with the daytime soaps
that gets people hitting your platforms every day.
Write a letter, Dale. Write a letter. All right, you got more Peacock news?
No, I don't.
Yeah, Pink Ladies.
That's Paramount Plus.
Paramount Plus.
They have officially given the green light to a prequel series to the 1978 classic film Grease. The name is going to be Grease: Rise of the Pink Ladies. I'm a little okay. So you know how I feel about musicals, and Grease I could watch all day, every day.
It's a classic.
This is one of the films, and there's probably a handful, maybe 2 handfuls, where the soundtrack is superb.
Of course. It's a classic.
Classic.
Absolutely.
And so I'm a little excited about this. The new series is going to be 10 episodes, and it's going to take place 4 years before the original film.
Great.
And as the name would suggest, the new series will not tell the stories of Rizzo, Frenchie, Marty, or Jan, but instead will tell the stories of currently unknown Pink Ladies.
So the class before the ones that we know from Grease. Yeah.
And so doing my research on this little section right here, you just have to Google search Pink Ladies 1950s.
All right.
Right? Pink Ladies is not a Grease thing. It was apparently a thing in the 50s and early 60s in high schools all across America.
Wow.
Pink Ladies.
I did not know that.
It's a thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, is this series going to be a musical? Do we know that?
I assume.
Okay.
But I don't know that. Because there's not a lot of information about them.
There isn't, but we have been talking about this for a while. There's been rumbles about this for about a
up
year or so.
until now. It was just been rumors, and they were like trying to shop it around.
But now it's greenlit.
Now it's greenlit.
It's coming,
and I suspect there will be. You got to have it. And like I said, I'm not a huge fan of musicals, but if you can make a musical that's like 1950s, 60s, that kind of pop rock and roll, but I think that'd be a lot of fun.
I think it could be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And people love Grease.
Right.
Also, over at our friends at Paramount Plus, they know what they're doing because they knew that Star Trek Picard was a hit for them. So they're bringing back so this is not news. We don't know it for sure, but it's a rumor at this point.
It's not news, but it's not a rumor. It's this in between gray space.
So what we're hearing on the wires is that there are going to be 3 additional seasons of Star Trek Picard. Of course, season 2 is now in development. It should be coming out, we think, probably in early 2022.
Yeah, for some reason, just to hold off, for some reason, this particular series for their season 2, I don't know what they did, because there were a lot of shows that were put off by COVID, by the pandemic, but they came out of it.
Right.
This one is still in it. I don't know what has happened for it to take so long.
We're not sure why it took so long for them to get back.
Because it's been in this production for over a year.
It has, but we have seen some teaser trailers for season 2.
Yes.
So they've actually put something down on film.
Yeah, it's coming.
Anyway, super excited about this. Season 1 was wonderful. And if you guys, Sir, what's his name, is amazing in it. Why didn't you write his name down?
Jean-Luc Picard.
There you go, Jean-Luc Picard. I was trying to think of the actor, but anyway, super excited about this. I think this will help a lot with Paramount Plus.
Fun fact. When season 1 ended, their Star Trek Picard was on the chopping block for a little while, and I didn't know that. Because I thought this was a popular series for the streamer, but apparently it wasn't. We liked it.
Yeah. So you're saying that it was not popular?
It was not a big series for them.
So why would they be making 3 more seasons?
I guess they've come out of it. I don't know.
Patrick Stewart. Sir Patrick Stewart.
That's the one.
Yeah. I knew I had to look it up. Let's switch over to Apple TV news. What is this first thing? I don't even know how to say it.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. But Apple has confirmed that Sons of Anarchy star Charlie Hunnam is currently filming its new international drama series, and we're probably going to screw this up until I can get word otherwise. Shantaram?
I say Shantaram.
Shantaram. Anyway, it's based on a book published back in 2003. Hunnam will play Lynn, a convicted Australian bank robber and heroin addict who escapes prison and embarks on a number of crazy adventures. And from my understanding, this is loosely based on a true story.
All right.
Of a legit Australian who has done these things. Like he goes to India and he becomes like a Bollywood dancer. It's pretty crazy. He does all these things. Yeah. It's almost like Leonardo DiCaprio in The Flight, the pilot guy. It's kind of like that.
That was a fun movie.
Yeah.
All right. So there's nothing more fun than Australian bank robbers who are also heroin addicts. So this sounds really interesting. I guess we're gonna have to wait and find out more about this. But it's a movie and it's coming sometime.
Yeah. And last for Apple TV Plus, while For All Mankind Season 3 is currently in production, Apple has apparently signed off on a 4th season. This is fun. This information comes from what I call an internet sleuth who noticed an updated webpage on the Writers Guild of America's website that lists a number of writers and producers who are set to work on the next series. So this is not confirmed by Apple.
Right.
Anyone else. This is just a guy who came across a web page that says
there's so many things. There's so many things out there that give shit away. Yeah, so that you can figure out what's going on. There's people who spend their entire career figuring out what Apple's going to do with their next Apple computer and iPhone. Yeah. Just by the little clues that they find out there on the web or from companies.
But I love that stuff. I love it.
And it's fun.
Right. It's fun to find out exactly what comes of it.
It's also a really great series for Apple TV Plus because it's one of their benchmark series and it's been doing really well and people want it to continue.
Yeah.
And just like the morning show, I can't wait until we find out when they're coming back. But we know they produced it. Let's go. Let's go.
I hear it's for the fall.
Yeah.
And even with broadcast television or cable television, the summer's sort of slow. It changes, and then you get to the fall, winter, and it just explodes, and there's just tons of stuff coming out.
Gotta love that.
Yeah. And last up, and this is just more of this happened to us, and this is what I have read and researched and found out. But for Apple TV Plus subscribers who were able to subscribe to the CBS All Access, now Paramount Plus Showtime bundle, like way back in 2020, don't worry. It looks as though there was some sort of billing error or glitch that showed the bundle expiring. For us, when I first read the story, I looked and ours expired on July 25th. But 3 days later, it was back as a active subscription. But during that time, we didn't lose any access to the two different streamers. So it was just a weird thing. Everyone thought that they weren't going to keep us grandfathered in. But if you're an Apple TV Plus subscriber and you're listening now and have no idea what we're talking about, chances are that you subscribed after February 2021, and that's when the bundle is no longer available. So this was a bundle that Apple put out to draw attention to the Apple TV channels, where with the Apple TV app, you can subscribe to HBO, Showtime, Tastemade, and
so we were able
AMC Plus.
So we were able to get Paramount Plus and Showtime together.
Correct.
And we're still going to get that. We're grandfathered in.
For the time being, we are continuing.
That'll probably go away at some point.
Right, because this is not available to anyone new.
Gotcha.
So we're still in it.
Oh, we got all the news for you guys.
That's it. I'm out of breath.
It's very confusing.
Unqualified opinions.
All right, so because we were gone for 3 weeks, we definitely have a lot to talk about. Dale and I actually managed to watch 3 brand new things since we last talked to you.
Yeah.
I'm super excited about the first one. Can I do this one?
This was great.
All right, so
do it.
Gunpowder Milkshake. It was a movie, standalone movie for Netflix. It came out a couple weeks ago. This is where an assassin veers off her mission to rescue a child. And by doing that, she triggers a war with a very powerful crime syndicate and reunites a gun-wielding sisterhood. I mean, it's kind of crazy. It's all over the place. It's got lots of notes of Quentin Tarantino. Let me tell you that.
And the reason why I think you say that is the way that when people are killed or shot, it's also like the movie 300. It also had that same sort of comic book,
almost silly comic-y book, over the top.
But I love
craziness.
It's great,
and it was done really well. Yeah,
and I love Paul Giamatti.
Yeah,
and I think he's great in this.
So he's in this. He plays the bad guy.
He's like the boss or the accountant, not the boss, but yeah.
And Karen Gillan, is it Gillan or Gillan? She's been in lots of things. She's been in Doctor Who. She's been in Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers, Jumanji. She's amazing in this as the lead character. Her mother is played by Lena Headey.
Great.
We know her from Game of Thrones. She was so good in that. And then there's a whole great cast. Angela Bassett's here, Michelle Yeoh. So many great people in this movie. But I would say, so I was trying to think of what is this movie and how do you describe it to someone? It's 2 Quentin Tarantino movies smashed together. It's basically Kill Bill and Jackie Brown mashed together.
Yeah, that's the best way. If you like those, you'd like this.
But he's got the guy who made this movie has a very unique way of showing his scenes and delivering them and photographing them, and it's very Quentin Tarantino-like, but different at the same time.
Right,
so
because
it's very comic. It's a drama. It's an action drama, but it's also funny at the same time.
Yes,
without having any gags in it.
And it's weird because, and maybe you pick this up too, and I'm sure it means something. And during the whole movie, like when they're in the diner and they're moving about, like the sky is it's always dark and it's weird and it's like it doesn't look like a real sky.
It rained a lot.
And then they go to the woods, to their little cottage or whatever.
Yeah.
And the sky is completely normal.
Yeah.
So I assume he's trying to tell us something. I don't know what that is, but I've noticed that.
Yeah.
And the whole thing.
No, it's a very stylized, very very highly art directed film.
Because I've also noticed that like when they're in the city, like it's a big city and no one's ever there.
There's no one there. It's only the characters, right? There's no one there.
Yeah.
It's really that's kind of fun. And that reminds me of some other movies that I've seen before that we don't need the other people. We don't need background players. We want you to focus on we want you to focus on what's going on.
And it totally works. It totally works.
Totally
like I was
works.
engaged and I just freaking loved it.
No, it's not for the faint of heart. It's
let's say
it's very bloody.
It was a fudging good time.
There you go.
So if you watched it, you know what I mean.
Anyway, we highly recommend Gunpowder Milkshake. It's not for the whole family.
No.
Maybe if your kids are 14, 15 and up, I think maybe it's certainly not for young people.
Because they've toned down the language, but there's certainly lots of blood and
it wouldn't be for my parents, but there might be some older people out there that like this kind of thing.
Yeah. The second thing that we watched while we were away was Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar.
It's so silly.
Tongue-tied. It's on Hulu. Incredibly silly. Well, it has Kristen Wiig from SNL.
Yeah.
And it's so freaking funny. And this is Kristen Wiig and Annie Mumolo?
Maybe.
and so basically these are two, not elderly, but middle-aged
single women
who had just found out they lost their job, and they were going to say, the hell with it. We're going to go on this. We're going to treat ourselves to this vacation.
They lost their jobs selling furniture at Jennifer Convertibles.
Yes. And that's how the story opens up. And it's incredibly funny because it looks like they're sitting like in the living room and all of a sudden the customer comes up and says, oh, is that couch for sale? I liked it.
It was hilarious.
It's funny. It's all right. My only criticism on this is I thought it was too long.
It
could have been a half hour shorter.
We've said that a lot about movies lately. It should have been 2 hours. It should have been an hour and a half instead of 2 hours. Yeah,
because because
it's a ridiculous, over the top, crazy comedy where anything can happen.
Right.
Yeah.
And not only that, is there were at least 3 scenes where it was one of the two characters just kind of constantly talking and saying ridiculous things, and it just went on too long, and it kind of became uncomfortable.
It needed to be edited.
So it could have been 30 minutes shorter, and it would have been a great movie.
But I did enjoy it.
No, it was great.
I mean, I think I laughed several times out loud. It was
fun.
Yeah. I mean, it's just totally ridiculous and over the top. Kristen Wiig was also one of the writers on this, and it has Jamie Dornan in it, who is just cute as friggin', you guys know him from 50 Shades of Grey.
Yes.
He was great in that as the dominatrix or whatever.
Right. And in this one, he kind of plays a Dumbo.
But he's still good looking.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's his part in this whole thing.
And he has a relationship with Kristen Wiig and Annie. Yeah, both of them in this movie. So it's kind of interesting. This was originally supposed to be released theatrically from Lionsgate, but because of COVID, it went directly to VOD and then ended up at Hulu. So you guys get to watch it if you're a Hulu subscriber.
Yeah, definitely watch it.
Watch it. It won't kill you.
It's a lot of fun. I mean, it is 2 hours long, but it's a lot of fun.
And then the third thing.
And then there's this.
Then we have this to tell you about. So this is probably my favorite of the 3 things that we've started watching recently. Mm-hmm. This is Apple TV Plus Schmigadoon.
Yeah.
Now, I know we've talked about it on the show before, but we only told you that it was coming. And we told you about the trailer. We hadn't watched it yet.
And here's the thing.
Yes.
In all open and honesty, I was not going to watch it because I hate musicals.
He hates musicals.
I hate them.
Except for Grease. All right. So we did watch the first episode. This is a 6-episode season. And the first 4 episodes are out. Episode 4 dropped today.
Right.
The last 2 episodes drop August 6th and August 13th. This is Keegan-Michael Key and Cecily Strong. They're the 2 main characters. They're backed up by Fred Armisen, Kristen Chenoweth, Alan Cumming, Martin Short. Just an amazing cast.
Yeah.
And this is a musical.
It is.
It really is a musical.
It is.
About these 2 characters, Melissa and Josh, who go on a backpacking trip, and they end up in this town, and they can't get out of it because they have to find true love before they can leave.
Right.
Now, everyone in this town sings
Exactly.
at the drop of a hat.
Yep.
And Melissa and Josh are also expected to sing at the drop of a hat, and it's pretty funny.
It's so...
Now, the concept is just friggin' amazing.
It's crazy.
They did a really good job.
It's crazy, but it's fun.
Bringing it to life because you're right. I don't love musicals, and I don't love when people just break into song for no fucking reason, but they're making fun of it here. They're basically making fun of the 1947 Broadway musical Brigadoon, obviously. This is Schmigadoon. And there's one song in there. We have to tell you guys about it because it's in episode 1.
Right. And this is what sold me. And this is why I have watched an additional episode. Go on.
Yeah. So the song is called Corn Pudding. And it's literally about corn pudding and how good it is.
Yes.
And so because of this song, Dale went and downloaded the entire album.
I can't get enough.
To his phone.
I cannot get enough.
It's really funny. And if you guys if you just want to taste, go to YouTube and just go Schmigadoon corn pudding, and you can just watch that one scene. It's friggin' hilarious. Actually, you know what? I'll put it on the Binge Bum Facebook page because it is really funny. I highly recommend this series. It's good for the entire family.
Oh, God, yes. Yeah.
Each episode's only about 25 to 34 minutes.
Right.
And there's only 6 of them. So if this does well, and I think it's doing well for Apple TV, maybe we'll get some more.
Yeah,
I don't know.
And this is from Lorne Michaels, right?
Well, Lorne Michaels does everything, and that that's why Cecily Strong's in here, and all these other people from Saturday Night Live. But yeah, it's from him, so excited about it.
It's pretty great. If I say it's pretty great, you should watch it.
If Dale says you should watch it, y'all.
New shows are coming your way. It's coming soon.
All right, we actually only have 2 for this week, which is weird. But up next we have tons. The one thing that I found, reminiscence.
I like how you say that.
I know. I was like
reminiscence.
Reminiscence.
All right,
we're doing it all over again.
No, I like it. I think it's funny.
You think so?
Yeah, reminiscence.
Yeah. Anyway, regardless of how it's pronounced, because I obviously can't, August 20th is coming to HBO Max. This is pretty freaking cool. And one of the things that I like about it is in watching the trailer is that the Miami coast is like all above the buildings and like climate change is taking over.
Climate change has definitely happened. So like everything it's not Waterworld. It's not quite that bad.
No, it's not that bad.
But it's up several feet. So all the roads are covered with water.
Right.
Yeah. So life has changed.
It's weird. It revolves around a private investigator of the mind who navigates the darkly alluring world of the past by helping his clients access lost memories. Living on the fringes of a sunken Miami coast, his life is forever changed when he takes on a new client.
Basically, he's trying to find this chick who he loved, and he doesnn't know where she is.
This is Hugh Jackman.
It's Hugh Jackman, y'all, and he is so amazing. Thandie Newton is also in this, and the chick that Hugh Jackman's trying to find is Rebecca Ferguson. They're really amazing. It kind of reminds me of Waterworld, and which is kind of funny because it's from the creators Waterworld, so it makes sense.
There you go.
This guy likes water, and that's what this whole movie's about.
He thinks we're all going to drown soon.
Yeah. But it's all about living in your past memories because the world is so bad and because the future looks so bleak, people are living in the past. So they're reminiscing, hence the name of the movie.
Right.
They're living in the past because that's when it was great. And he's trying to use the past to figure out where this chick is in the future. There you go.
It's very complicated.
I'm excited about this. It's definitely going on our list.
All right, the second thing that's on our list for coming soon is The Other Two Season 2. This is actually coming to HBO Max. I believe, this is on TBS or something like that. It's coming on August 26th. If you don't know what it is, they actually have Season 1 now available on HBO Max. So this revolves around a family. There are 3 siblings. One of them becomes this super, super famous pop star.
Like a Justin Bieber type.
Right, but that's not the story. The story are the other 2, the brother and sister who are trying to make it in like LA, and they work at restaurants, and they just don't have what it takes, and it is freaking hilarious.
And their brother,
I love this show.
And their brother is this pop superstar, right? So they have to deal with that. And they also have to deal with their overbearing, kind of crazy-ass mother, played by Molly Shannon, from SNL. There's a lot of SNL people in all of these shows that we're talking about
Molly
today.
Shannon from, the girl who sticks her hands in her armpits and then smells them really stiffly. Yeah.
Superstar.
Right.
Yeah.
But I like this. So this is coming out August 26th. The 2 first episodes are going to drop on premiere day. And then HBO Max is going to drop 2 every week.
There you go.
I love it.
Lots from so all of our coming soon is from HBO Max, and HBO Max has so much stuff it's not even funny.
Much, and we're not even done.
I mean, we can't even imagine what their budget must be.
Yeah, it's got to be big.
It's crazy.
We're gonna tell you what to watch this week. It's time for Up Next.
All right, you told me about this one, and I want you to take this first. When I've actually watched about 2 minutes of the second episode, and it's pretty amazing.
I watched it. It's called Olympic Highlights with Kevin Hart and Snoop Dogg. This is available on Peacock. It's streaming now whenever you want to watch it. This is Sports and Olympics reviews and comments about what happened that day. I think they're actually doing it every day during the Olympics.
Right.
Now, we're right at the 1 week mark right now because the Olympics started 1 week ago today.
Right.
So we got another week to go. So you guys can watch the new episodes every day that Kevin and Snoop are producing. It's just funny as hell.
Well, the thing
They're basically just sitting there commenting on what's happened that day.
And so just so you know, as I saw that you hesitated when you were about to read this and said enthusiast. And the reason why it says that is that the first episode is when Kevin Hart and Snoop Dogg find out that they are going to be the sports and Olympic enthusiasts and they are going to have this show.
So they didn't even know. They didn't even know it ahead of time. They knew,
but it's very scripted, but it's funny. It's Kevin Hart. He yells a lot, but then you got Snoop Dogg. Yeah. It was very funny.
He's very funny. He's very, very funny off the cuff too.
Yeah.
Excited about that. That's on Peacock. If you guys have Peacock, I mean, it's a good time to have Peacock if you are an Olympic fan, because if you miss a game or if you, since this thing is happening in Tokyo,
right?
13-hour time difference between here on the East Coast of the United States, you're not getting this stuff live.
Exactly.
So it's nice to have Peacock as your home to stream all the stuff that you want to watch.
And don't forget, if you're not subscribers to Peacock, but you have Xfinity cable,
yes,
you have Peacock.
There you go.
Say it into your X1 voice remote.
Oh, listen to you.
Oh, my God. I've heard that commercial way too much.
Are they paying you, Dale?
No, but Peacock is available to Xfinity subscribers. So you can get access to this stuff.
Including us. I am excited. Or more HBO Max news, y'all.
Yeah.
Excited about this. This is a new animated series from HBO Max. It premiered yesterday, July 29th.
So freaking funny.
It's called The Prince. And it is the funniest cartoon I think I've seen in a long time. This is a biting animated satire of 7-year-old Prince George, the youngest heir to the British throne. And he spills all the royalty on Buckingham Palace's residents and staff. I mean, everybody's here. Queen Elizabeth is there.
They're all there.
The redheaded prince, what's his name? Prince Harry, who left to go to California, and Meghan Markle, they're there.
He lives in his apartment palace.
Yeah, they're all there, and it's really friggin' funny as shit. But over the top. It kind of has a Family Guy-ish.
Yeah, and I was gonna say it's very Family Guy-ish, but because this is on HBO Max, this is not family friendly.
No,
this is not.
Cartoons are not always family friendly.
No, so we need to make that known.
Yeah.
This is for adults. I mean, these little kids cuss and swear, but it is absolutely hilarious, and I'm actually looking forward.
I think we should check it out. Why don't we check out a couple episodes tonight while we're having our dinner? Do you know how many episodes there are?
I don't. Not yet. No.
Cool. Also, at HBO Max, there's another animated series called Jellystone.
This one's for kids.
This is also dropped yesterday.
Yeah.
Is it for kids?
Yeah, this one's for kids.
Now, this one reminds me of my youth.
This is from when I was a kid.
They took all the characters that we grew up with and they've reanimated them. They look very, very different.
They look a little different.
But they still have the same voices.
Yeah.
And the same mentality.
But you know what I like about this is even though they look a little different, the animation is the same.
Yeah.
It's not the animation of today. It's not those 3D characters. These are 2D.
No. Right.
And this is what I grew up with, what a cartoon looked like.
Yes. They look different from their original characters.
They do, yes.
But enough that you get it and it's modern and fun.
Right. Exactly.
So you've got Yogi Bear, you've got Cindy Bear, Boo Boo, Huckleberry Hound, Jabberjaw, Top Cat, Snagglepuss. I mean, the list goes on and on. Johnny Quest is in there. Captain Caveman.
Captain Caveman.
Love him.
Yeah.
So anyway, Jellystone, new animated series, HBO Max, dropped yesterday. You guys can watch it and join in all the fun.
Basically, what it comes down to is they're all friends, and they're just, they have these little adventures. And the one thing that's different is Jellystone.
Yeah.
It's not a park.
All
It's a
right.
town.
I like that.
So that's also a little different.
It's super fun.
Yeah.
All right, but now I want you to tell people about the next thing because
You want me to tell it?
well, because I forgot. I just told you that we were going to be maybe watch The Prince tonight or Jellystone. We're not. We're watching this.
We're watching this, and we've talked about this at least in 2 other episodes. We're actually excited about this. I don't know what that says about us, but I find this to be a great show. What we're talking about is Outer Banks Season 2 on Netflix premieres today. It is finally out.
Finally.
So with a fortune of gold at stake, you all remember this, the ending of the previous seasons when they, they're floating away and they were on the way to the Bahamas. If you haven't watched it, better watch it now before I say too much. Pause it now.
Spoiler alert.
Right. Anyway, they're on their way to go find all this gold in the Bahamas. The Pogues rush headlong into a danger and a fresh mystery as they face foes old and new. I
love it.
Not wait for this to come out.
Well, is it a spoiler alert if I say what happened in the first season? I mean, it's been so long.
It's been a while. It's one of those things that that if you say something, this is no longer a spoiler.
Well, let me just say, they got their fingers on it. They found it.
Yeah.
But then it was ripped away from them.
Exactly.
So now on season 2, they got to find it again.
Exactly.
And we don't know how much it's going to take. We don't know what they're going to have to do. I don't know how much of this takes place in the Bahamas, how much of it takes place back in the Outer Banks, but super, super excited about it. All the characters are back. They filmed it sometime last year during the pandemic. They managed to squeak it out, and it's finally on Netflix. It's going to be huge for Netflix tomorrow. Granted,
I think so too.
Mark my words.
You can also tell about the investment of certain shows just based on the trailer alone.
Yeah.
And the trailer for this season 2 is, I love it.
People
I just love it.
People love the show no matter how old you are. This is a great show. I mean, it does seem like something you might see on the CW.
Exactly.
But it has better production values.
Right.
And love these guys that are playing these teenagers. They're in their 20s, but they're still cool.
But you hit it on the nail. I think that's what makes the series so great is that you love the 5 characters that are in this.
Yeah, they're all lovable.
You're rooting for them.
Yes.
And that's what a show. That's how you make a show.
Exactly.
You got to root for the underdog, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm super, super excited. So Outer Banks tonight for sure.
That's it. That's all we're going to be doing. And that is our show, ladies and gentlemen, for this week. We want to thank you for listening to this episode of the Binge Bump Podcast. If you like our show, be sure to rate us wherever you like to listen to your favorite podcast. And we will be back next week. We have no plans.
We're not going anywhere for a while. Tell your friends about our show, y'all.
Yeah. In the meantime, happy binging.